Hello and welcome, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. Today's video is going to be my March reading wrap up. I know I am really late to posting this, and honestly it was kind of getting past it that I thought maybe I wouldn't do it, but at the start of the year I made myself a promise that I would do a wrap up for every month because I didn't manage it last year, and then I was considering combining March and April because I haven't read too much this month yet. But anyway, here is my March reading wrap up. The majority of my month was taken up by my Zodiac Academy reread, so I had read all of the series except the final one, so I was going through and rereading the whole series so that I could have it all fresh in my mind for like the most impact going into the final book. So you can't see, but I have them all on the shelf behind me. As they're huge books, I'm not going to pick them up, but I read Shadow Princess, Cursed Fates, The Big Ass Party, Fated Throne, Heartless Sky, Sorrow and Starlight, Beyond the Veil, and A Restless Stars. So that was a wild ride reading them all back to back. I rated them all between 4 and 5 stars. The ratings of some of them had gone up since I last read them, which was interesting. And I feel like I can't really go too much into the books because they're kind of later in the series ones that I read, so I don't want to give any spoilers, but I will say from the final book, Sorrow and Starlight, I gave that one 5 stars. I think it was definitely a good ending to the series. It did end kind of exactly how I thought it was going to, but yeah, I just think it was a perfect ending. And I have been considering doing a video just about the Zodiac Academy series, a little breakdown of each book and my thoughts, but I don't know if anyone would want that, so if you do, then please let me know. I know a lot of people kind of debate the series because it's so big. I would say give it a go, but don't go in like expecting it to be the best thing you've ever read. But as that series obviously consumed my life for February and March, I finally can now move on to other books. So then I read Blood Oath by Morgan B. Lee. I had this edition from Smut and Sip, and I gave this 4 stars. So like Zodiac Academy, this was a Why Choose Paranormal Supernatural Academy story, and I did really like this one. It was the good start up to a series. It is very different in how this works though. So in this we have Maven, our female main character, and in this world there are groups called quintets, and at this academy the students are put into quintets, which are basically your fated mates, and the gods decide who you are going to go with. And there's this big ceremony that everyone is super excited for, but Maven does not want to be bonded, so she's really hoping that she is not going to be picked. But not only is Maven chosen, she is made the keeper of her quintet, which is basically the leader. She is paired with 4 of the most powerful and well-known guys from the school, although one of them is her teacher. But just because you are put into a quintet doesn't mean that you are going to stay in that. You can be rejected, people can kick you out, and Maven just does not want to be bonded, so she does everything she can to make these guys reject her, and they are not having it. They're like, you are chosen, you're the one we want. And yeah, it's just a really slow burn. Like literally she does not give in the slightest until the very end of this book, so if you love a slow burn then definitely check this one out. It's very fast paced. I completely binged read it. The only thing that kind of knocked a start off for me is because one of the kind of main plot storylines in this is that Maven is on some kind of mission, and that's why she has come to Everbound Academy, but the mission is never like discussed. You're not told what it is, so it's constantly referring to her on a mission and she needs to stay focused, but you don't actually know what she's trying to do. I think it would have been more entertaining for you to have known. I think there obviously is the intrigue for you not knowing why she's there, but after a while of her kind of going on and on about this mission and not knowing what it is, it did start to annoy me a little bit. But saying that, I am intrigued and I will be continuing the series. Then I read The Golden Goal by Anna Conwell, and I gave this 4 stars. This is a no spice hockey romance, and this was just so sweet. So our main character Shaw plays hockey for the Alabama Rockets, and he has like been in love with his best friend's sister Sutton for the longest time, but the two are childhood rivals, so nothing has ever really happened between the two of them. That is until Sutton lands a job as a physical therapist for the Alabama Rockets, so the two are obviously now having going to spend a lot of time together. Their rivalry still stands, but it's slowly they start to kind of realize that maybe they aren't rivals as the story goes on. It was just really, really cute. It was low stakes. You could tell that the characters really did feel and care about each other, and there was just this one really, really adorable scene where Sutton is sick, so Shaw comes in to look after her, and it was just so cute. It was just full of chemistry, and I would 100% recommend this book. Then the final book that I read this month was The Big Dink by Cynthia Gunderson, and I also gave this 4 stars. So this is a romance, another sports romance around pickleball, and I have no idea about pickleball. I've heard of it, but I don't know how you play it, any of the rules. I've never like seen anyone play it, so I kind of went into this expecting to not really understand it, and they did obviously talk about it a lot as it was a huge feature in the story, but I didn't feel like I was missing out or behind on anything because I didn't understand the game. But in this one, I think you say her name is Alicia, but I'm not sure. She has a crush on her boss Garrett, and she wants to do anything she can to impress him, and then one day one of her co-workers decides that they should make like a pickleball league within that office, and because Alicia really, really wants to impress Garrett, she signs up, but like me, she had never played it and she had no clue about it. So she drags her best friend along to the local pickleball club, where she decides she's going to get private lessons so that she can get really, really good and she can impress her office crush. At the club, she is paired with Calder, who is a really grumpy pickleball coach, and at first they just don't get on, but the more time they spend together, he kind of opens up a little bit around her. It turns out that he's actually friends with Garrett. This was also another no spice romance, and I did listen to the audio of this whilst I was at work, and it was just like a really fun time. I'd heard a lot of good things about this book and this author. It definitely lived up to the hype. It was really enjoyable, and I will definitely read more by this author as well. I think that has been like my quickest wrap up I have ever done. I'm proud of myself. If you've read any of these books, I would love to hear your thoughts on them, whether you loved them or not. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will hopefully try to see you next week with another video.